Hey Masters, if you know me and you've been listening to my podcast, you know health and nutrition is number one. Check out AdvoCare products. I am a distributor. Go to livelongersmarter.com. We got everything you could imagine for your health and nutrition goals. If you're interested, at the end of the podcast, at the very end, there'll be more information on the products. Also, LandVoice is one of our sponsors. They have amazing services. If you need leads, please check out LandVoice for FSBO, expired, circle prospecting, a dialer, whatever you need. Go to davidihill.com. Affiliates, you can click the LandVoice link and all of the special opportunities will be there.
Get ready for one more sale, inspiring you with ideas through powerful and engaging interviews with top performers of their field. Now, join us as we discuss techniques and strategies of the coolest and most successful people on the planet.
When my daughter was first born, I brought her everywhere with me. No shame, no apologies, just in her little car seat. She came to closings with me. She came to showings with me. I swear to God, she helped me sell homes. It was like I had reached the top. I couldn't do any more, and I had a lot of people who wanted to work with me, and I found it really difficult. So through Bold and through the right mindset, I put a part-time administrative assistant who did some transaction coordinating too. She happened to be licensed, so she could help cover appointments for me as well.
Hey Masters, welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery, episode number 57. And guys, this week we have Sarah MacBurnie with us, and she is killing it. Guys, listen to this. Mom doing 30 million. She went from, admin, right, to mom doing 30 million on her own. She started on a team. She just tells us how she did that. And it's just an awesome interview. And I'll tell you, she's just all about, and I didn't notice about her, it's like efficiency master. I mean, she just delegates everything, guys. She's like the master of leverage, the queen of leverage, I'm going to call her. Because I tell you, I learned some things from her. Even as, little things like having your groceries delivered, right? All these little things that do make a difference, because when you're a mom, you got to really be efficient. Whether you're a mom or a dad or whatever the case may be, but we just really need to become efficient with our time. And she's really figured that out. And the other thing she does really, really good that she talks to us about is setting those expectations, guys, with her clients, such that, her clients really understand her schedule. They understand, what it's like working with her, and, what they should expect. She does a really, really great job with that. It's a great interview. So super excited to share that with you. So enjoy. Also, listen, there's a book I just picked up. It's called The 5-Second Rule. It's by Mel Robbins. Oh my goodness. It's brilliant. You got to pick this book up. And I'll tell you the premise is, anything that comes into your mind, like an idea, we have 5 seconds to take action on that. And if we don't, the little voice is going to tell us, don't even bother, right? It's going to go away. Great book. Listen, 5-Second Rule. I'll tell you, go get yourself a free copy right now, guys. Listen, again, right? The 5-Second Rule. Do it now. Pause this. Go to davidsfreebook.com. Get yourself a free download of the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And guys, you rock. Listen, the book's awesome. You won't regret that. Last thing I want to remind you, I do referrals. Central Massachusetts, we'd love to work with your referrals. We'll take great care of your clients, and they will tell you we did a good job for them. That's the key. Okay, enough out of me, enough out of all this other stuff. Let's get back to Sarah MacBurnie, the queen of leverage, from admin to mom, doing 30 million. You guys rock. Enjoy. Look forward to talking to you soon. Hey Masters, welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery podcast, and we have a special guest, good friends of mine out in the Boston area, Art and David Matarazzo, said you have to talk to this lady, Sarah MacBurnie. How are you, Sarah?
Doing good, thanks.
All right, good. Hey, and it's an honor to get you on. I appreciate it. Like I was saying, my friends, I said, who do I need to interview? And they're like, this lady, Sarah, is just killing it. And you really should talk to her. And I know you personally. We had an opportunity to be in a class together a few weeks ago. So thanks for taking the time to do this.
Absolutely.
So real quick about you, you are the, well, you say it's a team, but I mean, I don't know if it's really a team because it's you have a buyer's agent, and you have a transaction coordinator or like a processor. So I guess you could call that a small team, or you could call it an agent with some leverage, right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, and you're on the North Shore. And congratulations, I didn't know this. You were the rookie, or the realtor, of the year for 2016, and you're aboard. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
Awesome. And been in the business for 17 years. I didn't realize you have been in the business that long. So that's cool. So you're like an old timer in real estate.
I know, seriously, I don't look it, but yeah.
No, you're what we would call a young old timer. So that's awesome.
Yes.
All right, good stuff. Fill in a little bit of those blanks about your business. 17 years in the business. Fill in some of the blanks, and then we'll get into what we're going to talk about today.
Sure. So just through an interesting set of circumstances, I found myself in real estate when I was 20 years old. I was a sophomore at Salem State, and sort of begged my way onto a local top producing team, intended to be their administrative assistant, and immediately got my license and immediately found clients and started working with sellers and buyers, all while managing their team and managing all transactions. So I was fortunate for the first, 10 or so years of my career to be involved in anywhere from, say, 100 to 175 transactions, and learned crazy information, got some really tight systems in place for them. And then when I had my daughter, I went out on my own. And in that first year, I did 25 transactions on my own. I was fortunate enough to take Bold in 2012. And in the process of doing so, I hired my first part-time assistant. And that next year, 2013, we did 60 units. And since that time, I've been slowly taking baby steps to grow, what I consider my little mini team. And this year, we're on target to do 80 units for 2016.
Good for you. So you're going to do about 80 units, you said, and that's about 30 million in volume.
Yeah, might be just shy of, but right around 30 mil.
Okay, that's solid business, especially for someone like yourself. Like you said, you have a buyer's agent and a transaction coordinator. So that's really great. The other thing I want to go back to is you said you started on a team.
Yeah.
17 years ago, you started on a team. Now you're building your own team. Was it beneficial to start on a team, or what did you learn from that? Or, would you recommend everybody start on a team? Because I started on a team myself, and, I think there were some benefits to it. Eventually, 6 months in, I ended up leaving the team. But what are your thoughts on something like that for our listeners?
For me, it was absolutely beneficial to work on a team, and with this particular team, each person, while we didn't have a model traditional to the Keller Williams model, we were sort of all doing our own thing, but working together. I did find that each person had their strengths. And so we were able to learn from the other person's strengths. It took me a long time to grow up in the business. I was very emotionally sensitive in the business to start. And so having these strong agents and strong mentors around me to kind of, take care of me and help me through situations.
So let me ask you on that though. When you say I was emotionally sensitive, what do you mean by that?
I'm a people pleaser by nature. I wanted all of my clients to like me. I wanted all agents to like me. And I think I had a warped perception of negotiation and conflict within the real estate transaction. And I used to take it personally. It was hard. It took me quite a while to get over that.
Yeah, that's a big one. And we see that a lot in this business, where I think sometimes we deal with other agents, and it's, instead of being like a partnership, Sarah, it's like this confrontational thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that was you, but I'm saying I see that out there quite a bit, and that might be that emotional thing you're talking about. So
yeah, I was really young when I started. So, it was part of growing up, but also growing up in a very high level business and just learning that it isn't personal and that I'm really just here to advocate for my clients. And so I learned that over time, but it was nice to be able to leverage the strengths of my teammates and the longevity in the business. The mentorship was second to none. If I hadn't been through a particular situation, they had, and I was the first to go asking for the help. So I feel like I was a fast learner in the business because I would go to them and get the right answers. Got it.
You started on a team. You worked on the emotional. What do you want to call that again? Growth or whatever you want to say. You grew up on a team.
Yeah, really. It was.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of us do. I mean,
Grew up. Yep.
you know, I wish, and it's not just the younger agents, Sarah. It's a lot of some of these seasoned agents, we'll call them. You know, they didn't have the opportunity to go through some of those classes. So that said, we're going to keep moving forward. But now you got to a place where you were doing about, you know, you left your team, you're doing 30 transactions yourself, right? Then you said you got into some coaching, took some classes, and then jumped up to 60 transitions.
Yeah.
So what did that look like?
Bold was a huge game changer for me to take the Bold class through Keller Williams. You know, in 2012, I had a newborn in tow. I had to seek family and friends and daycare and so forth to watch her so I could take the class and also so that I could conduct business. So I sold 25 houses that way and realized it was like I had reached the top. I couldn't do any more. And I had a lot of people who wanted to work with me, and I found it really difficult. So through Bold and through the right mindset, I put a part-time administrative assistant who did some transaction coordinating too. She happened to be licensed, so she could help cover appointments for me as well. I put her in place about 20, 25 hours a week. And through doing that and really buying into that leverage can work instead of being fearful of, you know, paying someone's paycheck, we were able to immediately do 60 transactions the following year. So that was amazing.
Wow. So would you say that the thing that got you from the 30 to the 60 was the administrative, like hiring that leverage, or was it a combination, or what was that? What was that the key thing?
I think there was a piece of it that was my drive and motivation to have to be able to give my daughter a really great life. And then that was able to be fulfilled leveraging the administrative assistant, you know, because I was able to be in front of prospective clients more often, or be with clients closing the business more often because she was taking care of everything else.
Gotcha. Okay, so now, you know, you're a mother, you have a 5-year-old, you're doing awesome in the real estate business. I see you're on a huge growth trajectory. So for all the other moms listening to this, because I know, you know, one of the things that we hear a lot in this industry is, well, I can't do it because, you know, I have to deal with, it's reality. I mean, we have to take care of our families, obviously, but you figured out a way to balance things out where you're still an awesome mom and you're successful.
Yep.
So tell us about that. What does that balance look like? Or what, I mean, even, you know, for fathers as well, not just for moms, but for everybody out there that has a family, but, you know, doesn't want to sacrifice.
It was definitely a constant work in progress for me to determine what it is I want. So first, I think each individual agent has to start with what is their objective, what is their goal. You know, as much as I would have loved to be a stay-at-home mom or around even more than I was, that wasn't in the cards for me. I was a single mom, and, you know, I love to work. And don't get me wrong, I love time with my daughter. So through leverage and also through time blocking, I decided pretty early on that I'm extremely open and honest and candid with my clients. Most of them know me personally, and if they don't to start, they get to know me personally. So my clients can expect, you know, the afternoons and the evenings when it's time with my daughter. I work on weekends, but only every other weekend. So, you know, I'm very upfront about my scheduling, what is my time with my daughter, and that way I can have good quality time with her. It isn't necessarily for me about quantity, it's about real quality time. You know, time blocking, setting my schedule up, and then being very open and honest with colleagues, my teammates, as well as clients. You know, this is the time I'll devote to you, so they know when they can expect me. And that, of course, if there's an emergency, you know, we can handle it. So really just delineating what is my time with my daughter, what is my time in my business, and then leverage, and I mean it all levels. So, you know, I have my transaction coordinator now. I have my buyer's agent now. If additional work comes up, we'll hire per diem runners, per diem people. We're finding a way for minimal cost to get everything done that we need to get done. And then for me personally, to have that quality time with my daughter, like Amazon is my best friend. I leverage out my grocery shopping to Amazon Fresh, anything and everything that I need for myself, for work, for my daughter, you know, click of a button on the app. You know, a lot of stuff I could spend time doing versus having the time with her or the time at work. I'm using, you know, apps or other resources to get done what I need to get done. You know, I have a house cleaner. It's not that expensive. She comes every 2 weeks. And it's, you know, I don't have to be fretting over cleaning when I can just be, you know, playing a frozen ice castle game with my daughter.
Yeah, that's awesome. That makes a lot of sense. Sounds like you're really, really good at leveraging. So you mentioned Amazon Fresh. That sounds awesome. I don't think we have that yet. I live in Boylston. So hopefully soon.
It's in Massachusetts. You should check it out.
I will have to now.
If you're a Prime member.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a huge, I mean, I'm on Amazon every day pretty much. So I will definitely look into that because I mean, that's nothing I shouldn't say I hate, but you know, I end up at like BJ's on the weekends, you know what I mean? And and Wegmans and doing all this stuff where I could probably be doing better stuff with some of my time. Although my daughter does come with me, so it's nice to sometimes spend time with my daughter doing that, but I'm sure I could find some other better things to do with my daughter.
You are listening to One More Sale.
So you're setting these expectations with your clients. Are you getting resistance? Are people not working with you? Because I know there's probably a lot of us, and I'm being devil's advocate to say, well, I don't know if my clients would, you know, work with me if I told them I was only available every other weekend or not after 5, right? So do you get that, or what does that look like?
No. So, you know, and I should back up as well. Part of being on that team for the first 10 years of my business, I had to develop systems to be able to handle 175 transactions closing in 1 year while working with my own buyer clients, seller clients, et cetera. So I was able to quickly implement in my own business systems to manage the transaction. And then through various Keller Williams classes, attending family reunion, mega camp, you know, I learned about things like the pre-listing packet. I developed forms that go to my clients in advance of working with me that set expectations. I actually have a form called seller listing expectations, and I have one called buyer client expectations. And it walks them through literally from our very first meeting to talk about listing the house, what's going to happen every step of the way through closing. You know, along with learning time blocking, I learn the scripts that go along with that. So when someone calls me, you know, I give them choices. I'm available Wednesday at 3. I'm available Friday at 4. Or I'm available the following weekend, Saturday at 12:30 p.m. So, you know, utilizing scripts and expectations type forms to let people know how the whole process is going to go. And then separately, once I know they're committed to working with me, letting them know this is how things go. This is who on my team is going to handle what. And only at some point does the conversation come up to say, you know, Mondays and Tuesdays are my early afternoons with my daughter. You know, I don't know. When you set the expectations and you have those tight scripts, there's no pushback.
Yeah. It sounds too like you come from a place of you're playing to win, right? As opposed to playing not to lose. So
Correct.
I'm sure you don't go into business with every person as well,
Correct.
right? I mean, not everybody's going to be a great fit. So you get to pick and choose. I love what you're saying because I'm the same way. Like, this is my schedule. I get to determine my schedule. And if we can create a win-win, then, hey, I'll love to work with you. If not, then that's fine as well, right? Is it something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, you know, the best thing for me is most of my current or new clients are direct referral from a past client. So it's someone who knows and likes them, and that's someone I've known and liked, and they're able to tell them this is how she works. So most all of my clients know my scheduling is very tight, but they also know I'm very approachable. And if not, members of my team are very approachable. It's funny. They all know to a degree I'm pretty much like, I'll text back pretty much any time, you know, so long as I'm awake, I really will. But the beauty in that, I don't get a lot of those texts because there's sort of that inherent respect of my time, but just the reassurance that they know that that's the reputation I have, that I am available. If something, you know, they feel like the world is ending, something comes up, they need me, they know they can reach me. But like it almost has the opposite effect where it's less likely that they're reaching out during personal time or really late at night. I think just having that comfort level that they know I'm there.
Yeah, No,
I don't
I
know.
love it. I love it.
It's interesting how you set it up and it all starts to just fall in place.
Yeah,
you know?
it's key, is Sarah, what you're saying is setting those expectations up front. And like you said, like they know at any time they can reach out to you, you're going to respond, you're available. So you haven't abandoned them, but they also respect you. I mean, like your doctor, right? If you need to go see the doctor, you call the doctor's office, you talk to the assistant, the doctor gets back to you when he's available. If it's an emergency, then you get in to see the doctor.
Right, exactly.
It's similar to that. So let me back you up, though. I want to ask you a question. So, 17 years, man, I know if someone asked me this question, I can know what my answers are. I'd love to hear your answer. If someone said, hey, going back 17 years based on what you know right now, what would you have done different?
Oh, yeah.
What's the answer to that question?
I would have started in on Keller Williams trainings, the books, I would have eaten that up as fast as I could have earlier on. I would have started adopting and implementing earlier on, even if I had stayed on the team. I can say that I would have gone out on my own sooner had I known what I had. I think I lacked a little bit of that confidence level until I finally kind of got thrust into it. I really would have bought into the true, MREA team model sooner. Everything that I finally was, I was fighting it for so long. I don't even know why. I don't want to go to a class. I don't want to go to a family reunion. I mean, I did because I wanted to go to the party, but I wasn't like open-minded enough to realize, I was like, oh, that's not going to work for me, or that's not going to work in Massachusetts. Maybe it works in Texas. I don't know why I had those misconceptions. I really wish that I had been far more open-minded and taken action to implement a lot of this sooner, because I know that the trajectory would have been far greater. Yeah, for me.
I have the exact same answer. And a lot of people I talk to, it's the same thing. I would have started day one following the model. I didn't do that. I built a team. I hired a buyer's agent first. It turned into this huge mess. You look at someone like Tim Heil that day one picked up the Red Book and then just had this ridiculous trajectory, 6 years in the business doing 300 units, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's so that's the model to follow. The other thing I want to ask you, and as a mom, a 5-year-old, doing great business, what would you say to the other moms or people in that situation?
I would say that, you can absolutely have everything that you want. You just have to be really smart about it. It isn't a matter of, yes, there's hard work involved, but it doesn't have to be that hard. Just like I did in the past, we overcomplicate things in our heads. We think of self far too much. We think we are far more important in the role as real estate agent than in reality we actually are. It really comes down to the client's goals and objectives, and you can get away with a lot more leverage than you realize, and earlier on too. When my daughter was first born, so that was my first year on my own in 2012, I brought her everywhere with me. No shame, no apologies, just in her little car seat, in the back seat. She came to closings with me. She came to showings with me. I swear to God, she helped me sell homes.
My wife, same thing.
Like, I think sometimes...
Yeah, my wife, same thing.
I think sometimes we're fearful to have that personal business overlap, but I can tell you that has worked for me. And the best benefit of that, again, like I said before, I am starting with prospective clients who already somewhat know and like me, or I know that, I'm going to like them, I'm going to want to work with them. And to start with a really good quality prospective client, or, to have really good quality clients that buy into you and buy into your person, your business, it makes everything else easy. So I think sometimes my coach was recently just saying this, we look too much to balance versus harmony. You can have family life, you can have business life. They can overlap. There's no rule saying they can't. If that works for you. That works for me. People aren't just buying Sarah MacBurnie Group, Keller Williams Realty as a realtor. They're buying into me and what I stand for and how my life is. And that's, that comes along with family and,
love that.
And business.
I love the harmony
thing. So it doesn't necessarily... Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love my coach Carl at Mass said that the other day, and I was like, I love that. That's exactly what I'm striving for, harmony.
No, that sounds cool. You know, I just went on a listing appointment, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. It was somebody that bought a house from my wife a year and a half ago. And the interesting thing is, you know, when I called the guy, he's like, "Oh, is V and Samara going to be with you?" And I said, "Yeah, they can be." He's like, "Oh, yeah, because we want to see Samara because, you know, they have a son as well." And so it's kind of what you're saying. It's like it almost created more of a connection.
Yeah.
That it happened that way. That my daughter, you know, was with my wife on every showing and the appointments and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think that works. You know, for some people it works.
It may not work for everyone, but it definitely works for me. And you know, to the new mom or the mom agent, if that's what they want, that's what they can have.
Yeah.
You know, I see other people that it works for too.
Well, I appreciate this conversation. I love this conversation. I think it's going to help a ton of people. What's your biggest challenge right now, Sarah?
My biggest challenge is me. I still, after many what people can call successes and, you know, many years and lots of knowledge, I doubt and I second guess myself. And my gut tells me you can do this, you can have this, you can grow here. And then my mind talks me out of it. Ooh. So, you know, I'm back on like a serious level of accountability with MAPS coaching, trying to find that harmony, you know, but really trying not to shortchange myself. I know there's a lot more in me. There's a lot more in my team, but we get comfortable. Well, I shouldn't say we, I get comfortable. And I say that was a great year and I could repeat that versus there's more in there. I could probably still be just as comfortable and do more and have my teammates or other people benefit from that. So I need that constant push or else I just kind of get cozy and, you know, do what I always do versus it's no additional effort, you know, to go out on a limb and push myself and, you know, take some chances and go for it. I'm my own worst enemy.
I just so agree with you. I think there's this responsibility, we could call it, of us keeping our minds in the right place. I mean, there's this quote I came across a few days ago. It says, "I have to make sure I don't let my thoughts destroy my peace of mind." You get that? I have to make sure I don't let my thoughts, and the thoughts are just always going. And I think when I say that, it's like I have a process every morning. I wake up, a routine that I have to do my affirmation, say my prayer, do my meditation, work on that stuff so that when I leave it, it's weird. I don't know. It's like I want to be like the most positive person in the world, but I just got this little thing that's in my mind that just talks to me and says weird things. And then you just have to say, shut up and leave me alone. And no, this is more, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm sure people relate to that. People may think I'm just crazy, whatever.
No,
so,
I agree.
Sarah, last question, and I appreciate you sharing that as well. Last question for you is, you know, what do you want people to take from this interview? I mean, on their path to sales mastery, what should they take from this interview?
The couple of key points that I like to share with people I mentor, people I talk to is have a business that is your business. I'm a firm believer in organic, in setting up your business the way that you want it to be. However, if you have a very big goal, you also have to bring in all of the systems, the models, you know, start to adopt everything that high producing agents are telling you works. Don't say, I'll get around to it. Just do it. You know, when I teach my seller class, I say, I don't care if you download the stock pre-listing packet, do it, slap your picture on it and use it. Do something first, nothing. Don't delay. I think being true to yourself, being true to really what it is you want and how you want to see that playing out. But then also, if you do set that, whatever the goal is, you know, make sure that you implement and adopt what has already been proven by others to work in your business instead of recreating, because I can tell you I had a lot of wasted time recreating or thinking I knew better than.
Sounds to me like you're a person that really has learned to follow the models.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, something else I took from that, you said you make sure we do something. Everybody get out there and do something, right?
Anything.
Do something. Yeah, take the generic listing packet, whatever. Do something. Get something out there and get to work. So I appreciate you. How do people get in touch with you for referrals and that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always happy to answer any questions people have, or if anyone knows of somebody on the North Shore. I'm out of Beverly, Massachusetts. My direct cell phone number, text or call is 888-337-9955.
Sarah, awesome. Hey, listen, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time to spend with us.
Thank you, David. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Masters, you guys know how important health and nutrition is to me. I just want to talk to you a little bit about products I use called AdvoCare. I've been using these products for about 1.5 years now, mostly just for energy. They've got a really awesome drink. It's called Spark. If you want to check out anything, I would tell you, go check out the energy drink Spark. That's what I did for, like I said, almost 1.5 years without even trying any of their other products. And then this past January, a bunch of us, January 4th, decided we were going to do the 24-day challenge, which is a 10-day cleanse and then 14 days of just really healthy eating, vitamins, meal replacement, just awesome 24 days just to kind of get yourself on track and get into some right habits. So Richie Ryan did it with us. Guys, he lost, today's February 5th. I think he's at 24 pounds lost since January 4th. Melissa at our office lost 6 pounds. Min at our office lost 5 pounds. Guys, I mean, listen, it's amazing. Regardless, if your goal is losing weight, my goal wasn't losing weight. I did the challenge just so I could experience it. And, I lost a few pounds, but now I put some weight back on because I started using some of the supplements and the protein powder and all the other stuff. So now I've gained about 3 pounds of muscle and just feel awesome. My energy's through the roof. So whether you're looking for energy or you're looking for just wellness, I mean, they've got some amazing green products that I love taking before I go to bed. Or if you're looking for performance, athletic products, we've got the athletic performance products. And then just active, if you're an active adult, maybe getting a little older in the age and you want to just keep everything working the right way and functioning. Listen, Gary Keller said it best. If you don't take care of your body, where are you gonna live? And I just love that. So, hey, I just ask you to check out AdvoCare's products. I'm a distributor, so I'd love to help you, talk to you about your nutrition and health goals. You go to livelongersmarter.com, livelongersmarter.com.
You are listening to One More Sale with your host, David I. Hill, author of the Sales Playbook. Get your copy at www.thesalesplaybook.net.